if anything else, this video is probably going to be a doozy. There's probably going to be some reaction to this that people don't like. I completely understand. But I'm seeing a pattern of things and some stuff going on in the tech world that, one, is kind of confusing me, but some of it is just like really frustrating me too. So let me start with the fact that if you are a tech YouTuber, or even if you're thinking about getting into doing YouTube videos on tech, that pretty much the only way to succeed and to make it and have your name out there so much is to cover phones. Because even the Mr. Mobile, who's been around in the tech community for the longest time and one of the nicest guys like I've ever, been able to talk with, he said that he would love to cover a lot of other products, but it always seems going back to doing phones, that's where the views are. And he's right. And my buddy Jason at Painfully Honest Tech, who used to go by the JTL, he, like me, covered headphones and gaming headsets, and really that was it. And the channel just never grew, and it was slow to grow. And once he started to cover phones, people finally started to discover him and, started to see how good his content was. And that, from that point, his channel just soared. And it's to a point, now where a lot of people recognize him or has seen his videos on, these phones or that phones. And so it pays off, it really pays off to cover phones, because it seems as though the majority of people only care about phones. Now, obviously, phones are in everybody's hands, but it's sick, and it's gotten to the point now where people are just like so eager to get the next phone, even if there's not really any kind of upgrade. And the perfect example of this is all of this iPhone, 10S, 10S Max, and 10R, XR, whatever Apple are calling these new devices, is they had this huge event. But this whole event that just happened, all of these iPhones, these upgrades, so to speak, they're not really upgrades, except for the price is upgrading to ridiculous levels now. People are still going to buy it because it's Apple, and that's just how things go. People try to justify the price because it's Apple, and that's just always going to happen. And again, I don't personally have anything against Apple, because I do have quite a bit of Apple products in this house. There are MacBooks, there's iPhones, there's iPads. One of my favorite devices are the AirPods. So let's not even start to point fingers that this guy just hates Apple. It's not that, but it is sickening to see people flock to Apple products just because it's the newest thing from Apple, even if it's a shit product, or even if it's not really an upgrade from what they have the year before. They just want the latest and greatest. The best thing to come out of this Apple event that just happened is the new Apple Watch. But again, people are talking about, you see the look of the new Apple Watch. It looks incredible. It looks exactly like the Apple products that are already, it looks like the Apple Watch that's already out. And the first gen, the second gen, the third, it looks exactly the same. They did add new features to it, and I do see the upgrade in it. So I have nothing bad to say about the Apple Watch. But this whole new iPhone lineup of just adding an array of different colors and adding different sizes and stuff like that, and you're basically now pushing the fact that, we're going the way that the iPhone 10 did, with not having the home button, having the little notch. People, honestly, yes, it sold a lot, but people weren't crazy about that phone. But now Apple is just saying, we're gonna push that product to you, and we just hope that you buy it. I'm gonna get off the Apple stuff. I do wanna get onto this. I wanna say my piece about tech YouTube, like tech reviewers, and kind of the whole approach of things. Tech people on YouTube, there's a couple. I'm gonna use one, we're gonna use a couple examples. Who has grown. The channel has gotten huge. He's on fire right now, but it's right now. It's with what's going on right now. And if you look at the timeline, this is what's frustrating, because it pops up in my feed all the time. I'm not even subscribed to him. And I've watched a couple of videos, so it always just gets thrown out, and I see this stuff that, yesterday, I don't know specifically, I'm just using it as an example, but yesterday, Google Pixel 3 XL leaks, information, okay? This is like the 10th, I don't know specifically, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. This is like around the 10th video on this, like just within the last month or the last few weeks. The other videos he's doing involves the iPhone 10. Now, obviously, these are the products that are coming out, and this is where focused is. But if your channel is based off Google 3 leaks, iPhone 10 video, Google 3 leaks, iPhone 10, you know, that's the pattern. That's all you have to talk about. And that's fine, but now it got to the point where it's getting to his head. It's getting to his head in a sense that now he's calling out, you know, people and kind of rubbing it in their face that, oh, I told you so, and oh, come back to me when such and such sells this many. He's really walking a very fine line, just looking and at this point, kind of does look that way. Another one that really just pushes my buttons is, I think that I'm saying that right. He blatantly calls himself and his fan base the Apple sheep. And that's really true. Again, to the point of, you know, bashing the other brand, but talking about one brand so much and even buying into stuff that is just like the iPhone 10. His latest video talks about how the iPhone 10s or 10R, one of them, is really, and he's justifying how it's a good deal and how it's a good phone, how it's worth, you know, all this money, when in the beginning he was even saying he didn't think so, but now it's turned around to where he thinks it is and he's pushing that. But it's always the case. If it's an Apple product, there are certain features that it doesn't have, but he can justify it. There are certain things that it can't do, but then he can justify it. But if it's vice versa, if it's Samsung or if it's Google, he is quick to just bash the product, and there's no justification. And if anybody tries to justify it, he will just blatantly tell them they're an idiot and go that route. And again, his fan base are Apple sheep, so I get it. So it's just frustrating to see this kind of thing succeed with people, you know, pushing one brand or sticking to one brand so much that they're just oblivious to how bad some of these products may be and how, you know, they're not worth it. Even the HomePod, who, you know, may sound great, but it was an awful product. It didn't work with anything. It didn't, you know, there's a lot of things that it doesn't do that products way less does. So there's no justification to Apple's price. But he definitely made every point to try to justify that price. Again, it's opinions, and I know everybody has one, but there's some things that just doesn't look right. Again, some people are gonna say that this guy, you know, talking about me, that this guy just, he doesn't have any subscribers, or he's just jealous that they're getting these kind of views, or he's just salty or whatever. And that's not the case. To be honest, like I said, YouTube is a side thing for me. I enjoy doing videos, and that's the extent of it. I don't really ever see this being a career. It would be nice, but you know, I'm not depending on YouTube. It's just the fact that I'm seeing a lot of things that are frustrating me, some things that are just dishonest. I think the subscriber number is getting to some people's heads. Some people see subscribers as like a status thing. Well, if you have this many subscribers, you're much better than this person. And then that's kind of how people act around here. Who knows what's going to happen with this video, but I felt the need to share these things. I probably won't do any other videos like this. I'm not sure. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys for checking out all the other videos. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.